Hey, everybody. Welcome into the Ben Maynard program. Thanks for being here. I greatly appreciate it. You see, there's some work going on in the studio, huh? I told you a little more and a little more and a little more. It's coming along. It's coming along. We um, got a lot done. There's a lot more to do still, but I hope you like that. Yeah, my wife Catherine, she designed that. It was initially started out as a picture that she had taken when we were on vacation over the summer. And so I thought, wow, that'd be kind of a cool thing to use for branding, instead of, I think I had some other picture in mind. I don't know what it was. It doesn't really matter. But boy, I'll tell you, trying to get this show in today, what? Hmm. I had a dentist appointment this afternoon, so I wasn't sure how I was going to be feeling from that. I feel good. It's all right. Cool. Cool. Thanks for your concern if you were. um, but then I come back home and I come up here to the studio and I start, getting everything situated to get ready to record the show. And and you can see we're doing this from a different location from the back side of the studio instead of up at the desk in front of the computer. So I had to do a few test runs. I wanted to check the microphone, make sure the sound was good, see how the video was coming out, how the picture was. That's a brand new camera that I'm using, so I hope it looks good. I hope everything looks good. I'm actually quite pleased with it right now. So just trying a few things out, and I would play the stuff back. And I'm thinking, gosh, it just sounds terrible. I sound so far away and it sounds like I'm talking in a cave and all this kind of things. Okay, switch out the microphone. Let's try this one. Did it again. I probably did this 6 times. And I start looking at my computer and I'm noticing, wait a minute, the computer's not even picking up my mixing board. And I have the mixing board plugged into the laptop. It's not even picking it up. Oh, holy cow. So anyway, I got it situated. I was got it figured out, got it done. See, I'm still a novice. I'm still new at this, but I figured it out and ran another test on it. Everything seemed to come out okay. So, hey, here we are. And thank you for being here. I greatly appreciate it. Listen, I want to remind everyone, please subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I could use as many subscribers as possible. Give me a thumbs up. And if you would like, leave a comment, please, please. I'd greatly appreciate it. I like to read. I like to read the comments. When I go watch other videos on YouTube here, I go and check out the comments. I want to hear what other people are saying, and so I want to read comments on my stuff. Anyway, but so leave a comment if you could, please. And right there, the bottom of the screen, you'll see there's an email address. That's my personal email. So if you want to leave me an email, go right ahead, and I'll read it on the next show. Also, if you could, I know this is. Can you do this? Can you do that? That's the way we plug these things. That's the way the podcasting world is now. You got to plug all your social media outlets and you got to hit this and that and the other thing. Anyway, so if you'd follow me on Instagram, I greatly appreciate it. IG, the gram, whatever the kids call it. It's Ben Maynard Program, all one word. I greatly appreciate that. But yeah, if you subscribe to the channel, it would really, really mean a lot to me. I in no way am looking to make any money on this at all. Okay. Some people do this for a living. I'm not doing this for a living. I have a regular job. Okay. So, yeah, but if you could, subscribe to it, I'd appreciate it. Thanks. So I was going to do a little recap on the previous show, but yeah, in this opening here, I kind of ran over and talked about a lot of stuff that I didn't plan on. So we're not going to do that other than to say, this is episode number 4. previous episode number 3. That one was Aldo Nova and Angel. If you haven't checked it out yet, check it out. Yeah, only 3 shows in, but it's the best one. And I think there's a lot of good information. Whether you're a fan of Aldo Nova or Angel or not, maybe you are now. And if you aren't, check it out, and you might be. So anyway, let's get down to it. Kiss live albums ranked. Okay, my list. This list is only the official releases, meaning that none of the instant live releases, or I shouldn't even say releases, or the others that were purchased at the shows. None of that counts. No off the soundboard. None of those. These are releases that we had to get, in the store, or off the website, or however you buy your music. So these were the official releases. This list is weighted, meaning that then there's 6. There are 6 releases, believe it or not. It's weighted. Number 6 being the least favorite of those 6, and of course, number 1 being the favorite. So, yeah, let's begin the countdown. We're going to start right here, and it's just you and it's just me. So I don't actually have album covers. I have a couple out, but I've got some CD covers here. So when I have to show you what this is, so you don't need to squint, I'm going to walk away from the microphone and hold it right up to the camera. Okay. So, yeah. So we're going to get started right here with number 6, and I'm walking away. Right there. Yeah. Kiss Alive, the Millennial Concert. That one was recorded in Vancouver, British Columbia. And of course, that was the original lineup. It was recorded December 31st show, 1999. And I think it was initially supposed to be a live 4. Why that didn't happen, why it took so long to be released, I don't know. I'm sure maybe I heard it one time, but I don't recall. But I think it was finally released in about 2004, 2005. And it's also included in this Kiss Alive box set, which I have displayed so nicely here on the table, just for some stuff to see. But it was included in here. And when you bought this box set, you had to send away to get 2 tracks that are not included on it. And I think there is another version of the Millennium Concert, that already include the tracks. And those tunes were 2000 Man and God of Thunder. So I don't remember if it was through Best Buy or someplace. And but I do recall sending away and getting that bonus CD. Why it wasn't included initially, again, I don't know. But yeah, the set is good. It's a good set. The sound is good. The band sounds good, and I mean, it's what the band was doing at that time. Paul sounds really good. He still sounds really good. But the thing is, there's just there's nothing special about it. Like I said, it's the set that they'd been doing for the previous 3-4 years. There's no stage raps on this. There's no Ace guitar solo. And even the version of Beth on this, I'm not crazy about. I didn't even think that Peter sounded all that great. They didn't even clean that up. So it's it's Kiss being Kiss, and that's why it's number 6. But let me say this though before I move on to number 5, that this was even though it's only 6 albums to work on, this was tough. This was very, very tough, and it was brutal at times for me to put this list together. Um, but moving on to number 5. Now, this one was a last minute decision, and I already know that I'm going to get beat up for this, but I'm sorry it has to be this way. This one is number 5. Kiss Alive 2. That's right. That's right. Great album. Great album, released in 1977. Great album. I got that one right when it came out. I think I was right there front and center at Lovell's record store when that one came out. And I was giddy, just like any old 12-year-old kid would be at the time. I will say this, though, that initially I wasn't crazy about that cover. I just didn't care for it. I don't know. I guess when you come from, you've seen Alive, the cover of Alive, and it shows the band on stage, and obviously it's a posed photo, but they look like it's just right in the middle of a show, and then you get this, and I always was bothered by this picture of Gene Simmons with blood all over his face. You've got Paul, Ace, and Peter look like they just got out of the shower, put their makeup on, they look like they're ready to go out on the town. But as I've gotten older, I really appreciate this cover. I really, really like it now. I really do. And I think that is one of the greatest pictures of Gene Simmons ever. That's just a great picture of Gene. So I've changed on that one, changed my personal feeling or opinion on that one. And what was always good about Kiss, it's always been good about Kiss, is that they give you stuff. They give you stuff in the albums. This one came with the Kiss merchandise order form, and I couldn't believe I still had it. It's great. I didn't even mark on it. I haven't written on it at all, so it's clean. I really am excited about that. And I still have these. Let's see if you can see those. Yeah, can you see those? Can you see those right there? Kiss tattoos. That was something. Now, I think one of my other versions of Alive 2, I cut those tattoos up and probably put them all over my arms and whatever. But yeah, still got a full set of tattoos there. So I love it. And unfortunately, I cannot open the gatefold of that because it's a mess. But I will do this. I did get the sleeve from the CD, and I'll show this to the camera. This is I'll tell you what, when you're 12 years old, as we walk away from the microphone here, and you open up an album and you see that, holy cow, that's just mind blowing. That is mind blowing. It really is. So, uh, you know, uh, there's a cool booklet that comes with that. I don't even know where mine is. It's around here someplace, but yeah, for sake of time, I didn't go digging for it. A lot of great stuff. And the songs are great. Set list is great. I mean, come on, we get for the first time a live vocal from Ace Frehley. I mean, in Shock Me, great. That's I think as Kiss geeks, we were really, really amped up when we heard Ace sing for the first time, taking a lead vocal on Shock Me on the Love Gun album, and then we got to hear it live, and it's a good version too. It's really, really good. I love the guitar solo in that. The band sounds tight. The energy from the band is tremendous. These guys sound like they're on top of the rock world in 1977, and they were. So that's what I really got out of it. Oh, and don't let me forget, the best introduction ever. You wanted the best and you got the best. The hottest band in the world. Yes. So good. That is so good. I mean, you put the needle on, or these days we put our CDs in. As soon as we start to hear the crowd noise, crank it. That is such a wonderful opening and an introduction. And yeah, that's just absolutely killer. Best one in the history of live albums ever, ever. Um, so all that said, um, it's number five. It's number five for me. Like I said, I like it, but and I like the studio stuff too. Okay, I don't care for the cover of Any Way You Want It. I mean, come on, guys, you already put out 4 songs. You couldn't do a fifth, but I like the set. Like I said, I said everything I need to say about it, and sorry, it still sits right there at number five. So moving on to number four. Yeah, this one is really, really tough. And you diehards are going to really, really want to punch me in the face because this one here is number four. I know I'm a hardcore Kiss fan just like you, but right there, that's number four, Kiss Alive. This one here, this one was the catapult, the album that possibly saved the band, the album that saved the record company. And due to the sales of this album, the disco era existed, you know? So, I mean, all that, why is it four? Well, you know, it's not, look, I can't say the, let's just break it down. Okay. Cover's great. Great cover. Great cover. I'm going to tell you something about this album that you don't know because there's so much stuff that's been said about this album that we already know. But I'll tell you something I bet you didn't know. That the inspiration for the album cover for Kiss Alive came from this right here. And I'm walking away from the mic. Yep, that's right. Uriah Heep live, January 1973. And I'm not saying that Kiss stole anything. I'm just saying that there was the inspiration behind this album cover because of Uriah Heep live. And what I mean is, when you opened up, and I don't have the album, so I can't really show you, but when you open up Uriah Heep live, there's on one side of the gatefold or the other, I think it's on this side, there's a biography on each of the members of the band. And what do we have right here? We've got personal notes from each member of Kiss. And in this album, Kiss included a wonderful booklet, great pictures, all that good stuff. Great stuff. In the Uriah Heep album, that there was also a 10-page booklet. The difference is it was stapled to the fold in the gatefold. So there was a lot of inspiration for the design of Kiss Alive from the Uriah Heep album. So the songs, great stuff, great set. The songs are wonderful, and best show opener, Deuce. Deuce is such a great show opener. I just love that song. It's just one song I never get tired of hearing. The band sounds great. Let's put aside everything that we know that was done in the studio afterwards. Let's just forget about all that. The band sounds as though they were on a mission to be that band, as they said, that they never saw. So, and I at that point, That opening, that opening, you wanted the best, you got the best, the hottest band in the land, Kiss. They were the hottest band in the land in 1975. Definitely. Um, like I said, set opens with Deuce, great opener. Strutter, what can be said about Strutter? I mean, come on, it's just a great song. Uh, standouts for me, Got to Choose. Love that song. And this version is so good. Another standout for me is Firehouse. I'm not saying I don't love these other songs. I'm just saying these particular ones are standouts. I was never a huge fan of Nothing to Lose. It didn't matter what version it was. I just never a huge fan. I like the trade off on the lead vocals, but I don't know. It's an okay song, good song, but it's just not one of my favorites. But Come On and Love Me, live version. She just tears it up. Love it. And then I think the one that all drummers love is 100,000 Years. I mean, how many drummers out there, you guys, learned every beat of that drum solo? Great drum solo, great song, great stage raps from Paul Stanley in the middle of that song. I love it's just so good. And that version of 100,000 Years, that is the version. Definitely. Hands down. The live version of Rock Bottom is great. I was a little confused though when you go to Dress to Kill and you've got that really long acoustic intro, and then you get to Alive and it's very, very short. I don't know. It would have been nice to hear that whole intro. I mean, because it's great, and Rock Bottom is just an awesome song. Great version called Gin. I mean, and they close the set with "Let Me Go Rock and Roll," which I that's a good set closer, to be honest. We all know what they close with. The Alive version of Rock and Roll All Night. That's the one that everybody knows. That's the one that really got played on the radio back then. And I'll be honest with you, if I never hear that song again, I'm okay. I'm okay. It's not a bad song. I'm just tired of hearing it. So, with all that greatness, how can it be number 4? Well, because that's where it is. And it's my list. And because I know so many of you disagree with me, leave it in the comments. You're welcome to do that. I would love it if you did. So now we're halfway to the top, halfway there. So what's at number 3? Number 3 right here. I'm walking away. Yes, there it is. Kiss Alive 4. That's Kiss Symphony. That one was released in 2003. That was a special night with the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra. And basically, it was Tommy Thayer's introduction to the Kiss world as a member of the band. Peter was back in the band as they would soon, after this, embark on that co-headline tour with Aerosmith. The packaging on this, I don't know. It's nothing special, but I mean, the booklet's got, some nice pictures in it. Like I said, there's nothing great in it. But I look through here and I see there's some, like I said, there's a lot of credits. They mention all the members of the Melbourne Symphony Ensemble and the Symphony Orchestra. Let's see. And then I get to the back page here, some more credits, art direction, blah, blah, blah. Go down to the bottom of the page. Oh, kissonline.com webmaster. Oh, shout out to Michael Brandvold from Three Sides of the Coin. Nice. Good on you, Michael. That's awesome. That's great. But I'll tell you, what I really like about this performance, there's a lot of things, and but I like how it was broken up into 3 acts. Act 1 was just the band plugged in and rocking for 6 songs. Um, and I really liked all the songs in Act 1. Great songs. It starts off with Deuce, which is just a killer live version of Deuce. One of my favorites. Actually, might be my favorite version of live version of Deuce. Then they follow up with Strutter, then Let Me Go Rock and Roll, Lick It Up, a great version of Lick It Up. It really, really is. Calling Dr. Love, and then they close Act 1 with Psycho Circus. The band, they the band sounds great. They really do. They sound great. I think the energy that I pick up from listening to this is that these guys were out to make a statement and make this particular occasion the ultimate Kiss experience. That's what I got out of it. I don't know, maybe I'm making too much of it, but that's how I felt about it. So Act 1. Then we go into Act 2. The band slows it down a little bit. They go acoustic with the Melbourne Symphony Ensemble for 5 tunes. Good songs, great versions of these songs. And they started off with Beth, and they go into Forever, which is a slower version of Forever. It's a little drop down key, I think, but it's great. Sounds really, really good. Going Blind and Sure Know Something, and then they finish up that set with Shandy, and of course in Australia they have to sing Shandy. But the one song in Act 2 that I am disappointed in was is Beth. And the reason why I say that is if you listen to the studio version of Beth on Destroyer, there's that music break in between the second chorus and the last verse and chorus. And it starts out with the strings and it's really nice and it's really mellow. And then about halfway through it, you start to hear the horns come in and they start ramping up. And then right at the end, it's just, to me, it's just very dramatic. Bum, 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 bum. And I almost get chills every time I hear that because I think it's so dramatic. And in this version, I don't know whose fault it is. I don't know who did the arrangements, but it falls flat at that moment in the tune. When I first heard it, I don't recall if it was on the album or if it was on the DVD. I don't remember which version I heard first, but I was just so jazzed because this song was now being played with full orchestration behind it. It wasn't a tape and all that. And I thought to myself, oh, this is going to really kick in. And it got to that spot and it just went flat for me. I was so disappointed. So anyway, that's my one disappointment with that. And but they come into Act 3 after that. And Act 3, they really the band kicks it into another gear with this set. Sorry about that. It's 10 songs. They're backed by a full orchestra now. And all us Kiss geeks, we know that Kiss rocks it hard. They're heavy, but I will say this, with full orchestration behind them, holy cow. I mean, just the songs are so much more dramatic and they're so much heavier with the orchestration behind it. That's my opinion. That's how I feel about it. That's what I get out of it. And I love this. I love this album. So the 10 tracks that are in Act 3 are Detroit Rock City, great set opener. It's a great version of the song as well. King of the Nighttime World. Do You Love Me? Okay. I mean, not one of my faves. Shout It Out Loud. I'm going to be honest with you. Not one of my favorites. And then we go into God of Thunder. Best version ever. Ever. End of story. No contest. That is the best version of God of Thunder. Ugh, so good. It is so good. Then we get Love Gun, Black Diamond. Again, best version ever. The orchestration behind that, it's a pretty powerful, heavy, dramatic song anyway. And with that orchestra behind it, man, it really just punches you. So good. Then they follow up Black Diamond with Great Expectations. Why? I don't know. I like the song. I don't know why it belonged in this act. We know they bring the children's choir in to sing it. I think they could have, that could have lent itself more to Act 2 with the ensemble. But look, that's my opinion. They follow that up with I Was Made for Loving You. Great version. It's fun to hear the orchestration behind that one. And then, of course, they close out the set with Rock and Roll All Night. It's not my favorite version of this song at all. It just, it's okay. It's just not. And like I've said before, if I never hear this song again, I'm okay. But as I said earlier, the guys sound great musically, vocally. However, I will say this, that I think with this release here with a Live 4, I think, at least to my ear, you start to hear a little the change in Paul's voice. Not so much when they're plugged in and they're rocking, but you hear it a little bit on the acoustic stuff. And I know you sing songs a little bit differently, but I think a lot of you will agree with me. You know what I'm talking about as well. Don't get me wrong. He sounds terrific. But I think you start to see a little bit of a change in that. The one thing I will say that about the third act, the full orchestra and all, the one thing I'm a little bit disappointed in is that 6 of those songs are from Destroyer. And then if you count Beth in Act 2, there's 7 songs from Destroyer in this set. Destroyer is a great album, but there are so many other songs out there that Kiss could have put in place of "Do You Love Me" or "Shout It Out Loud." I don't. To me, I think there's better songs out there in the Kiss catalog. I would love to have heard "Rock Bottom," maybe even "She." But how about "Creatures of the Night"? I think that would be something with an orchestra behind it. But anyway, that's just my opinion, and they didn't do it, and they don't care what my opinion is. So, I really like, where did I put it? I really like Alive 3. I really like this one a ton. I really do. And I just think the power that the orchestra adds to this is tremendous. And if you've gone a while without listening to this, put it on, because I just think it'll punch you in the face. I really, really do. Okay. So now we move up to number 2. Number 2. Here we go. As we walk away from the mic. Right there. You get a good look at that? Kiss Unplugged. Yep. Kiss Unplugged. That's my number 2. released in 1996. We know that came off of the MTV Unplugged performance. 2 words: killer performance. Enough said. Just the set list in this, the set list on this, it just, I mean, it's tough to get better. It's tough to get any better than this set list. I think for us Kiss geeks or Kiss honks, whatever you want to call us, I think that this is the stuff that we always dream about. The set list is just, it's just dynamite. Uh, and if it's a great rock song, it's going to sound great acoustically. I mean, and these songs do, they stand up acoustically. Um, and that just well, I'll say this: the one, there one disappointing thing is that the packaging's not all that great, not all that special. Just some photos of the band. Obviously, we got um, the 6 members, including Ace and Peter here. There's a fold out. It's got a lot of shots from rehearsal and from that night. And, I mean, it's okay. It's okay. And of course, Kiss had to plug their history book at the time. So they give you all the information to send away your $158.95 for history. Well, I have it right here. I don't remember if I sent it off, but I have history right there. But getting back to this, it's the packaging does not overshadow the great set in on this album here. It starts out with "Coming Home," great opener, great to hear that song. Just we never hear it, we don't hear it live. "Plaster Caster," so good, and it's one of my favorite songs off of Love Gun. And it was great to hear it on this. And then another song, we never heard it live. We didn't get to hear it live for most of us. "Going Blind." And at the time of this release, I hadn't listened to "Hotter Than Hell" in a while. So it was nice to hear this come back. I was like, wow, it'd been a long time since I heard this. It's a great song. It's corny, but it's so good. "Do You Love Me?" It's a good version. And it's better than the version on Alive 4. Domino. Love, 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 love that song, Domino. This one, best version ever. Okay. Bottom line. It's just, it is so good. And if you remember watching the MTV Unplugged performance, Gene starts out the song, "Let me tell you my story. I've got a man-sized predicament, and it's a thick one. Goes like this. Yeah." And it's just so good. So good. And yeah, that's best version. That one right there, best version. Then they follow up with "Sure Know Something," a really good song, great song off of Dynasty, one of the better songs off of Dynasty. "A World Without Heroes," they slow it down, and it's a little bit somber, great. And I think for again, us Kiss geeks, we really, really enjoy that one because where does it come from? Music from the Elder. And I probably didn't hear that song since, not performed live, since they were on Fridays, if anybody remembers that show. The only thing missing from that, we didn't get a tear coming down Gene's cheek. Then they follow up that with "See It Tonight." Gene does a really good job on that song. Yeah, really good song. I like to hear that track. It's a good song. Oh gosh, here we go. Then "I Still Love You." Now we get dark. This is serious business. This is serious business here, folks. Most of you out there, you might disagree. I'm hoping you're on my side of it. But either way, that's okay, because this song here, I Still Love You, this live version, as I'm trying to avoid pounding on the table here, this live version, best Paul Stanley vocal performance ever. Ever. Hands down, no question. Don't even argue with me. I I still get chills when I hear that. When I hear that version of it, and Paul carries on that song, I'm amazed every time I hear that song. And when I do, and Paul's dragging on that high note, and he's going on and on, I do that fist pump, dude, just like this, like he does on the unplugged video. Yeah, it's so good. And then right after, he does a great job with Every Time I Look at You, off of Revenge. I thought it was great that they brought that song out. It's a good song. I don't know if it's ever been played live after that, but so good. Then then we have the boys, Ace and Peter, come in, and they join Gene and Paul for Beth and 2000 Man. Good versions of those songs. And then the set rounds out with all six fellas back on stage, and they performed Nothing to Lose, which is a good version. Like I said, it's not one of my favorites, but I do like the trade off between uh, Eric and Peter on that. So it's pretty cool. And they finish out with Rock and Roll All Night, of course. And to me, that version's nothing special at all. But all in all, it's just great stuff. It's a joy to listen to. It's a joy to sing along to. And that's why it's number 2. So I'm sure if you are a member of the Kiss Army, if you've been a long time Kiss fan, there's no suspense left in any of this. You know what it is. You know what's coming up next, and you know what's number 1 on my list right here. Kiss Alive 3. Yep. Recorded on the Revenge Tour, released in 1993. A lot of Kiss fans don't really care much for this one, but not me. The packaging is it's okay. It's not great, but it's just got credits on the inside here on the fold, and then there's a nice little message from the boys here. What I do like, though, I guess, there's a nice shot of the stage. Is that there are some photos paying homage to the Kiss legacy. So I did like that, but like I said, it's just the packaging is just not great. And I will say this: the family tree right here, that thing gives me a headache. Trying to figure that thing out, but and I know that it's again, let me go back. The set list is it's just killer. It's all killer and no filler, top to bottom. Can't even dispute that. You just can't. There are 4 tracks. Well, there's 5 from the 70s, there's 6 from the 80s, and 4 from the 90s. So I think it's a great blend of the band at that point. Because, as we know, really pretty much through the 80s, they didn't play anything from the 70s. So that all starts to come back together. Started on the Hot in the Shade tour, but it really just culminates with this. It came together. And I know it's actually 16 tracks, but I'm not really counting the Star Spangled Banner. It's a great rendition, but it would have been nice if it hadn't been edited down. The band sounds great. The vocals are spot on. Eric Singer is killing it behind the drum kit. Uh, and Bruce had been playing his ass off since Revenge, since the Revenge album, and it continues right here. I mean, mm, so good, so good, and it begins with a great opener, Creatures of the Night. That's a great show opener. Um, I just think it's what a great way to start. Then also followed up by Deuce, fabulous version of Deuce. And I know I said the Alive 4 version was my favorite, but I don't know. I go back and forth between these two, Alive 3, Alive 4. Which version's better? I don't know. But they're the Alive 3 version is just something else. Oh, it's great. Then they bring in a couple songs from Revenge, killer sounding. I Just Wanna and Unholy. And Unholy is so good. So good. And then Heaven's on Fire. Best version ever. Great vocals by Paul. This is the best version of Heaven's on Fire. Definitely. Yeah. Then they bring in a good, an oldie but goodie in Watching You. It's great to hear this one. And then Domino. What can I say that I didn't already say about Domino? It's a great Gene song, and it's a lot of fun. It's just a fun song. Uh, then I Was Made for Loving You, and it's back in the set for the first time, at least here in America, since the Dynasty tour. I'm not sure. I have to go back and look at Kiss Alive Forever to check the set list for the Unmasked tour. There was only one show played here in America, and then the rest of it was in Australia and in Europe. So I don't know, but I'm saying it's the first time since the Dynasty tour. What I like about it, though, it's a much heavier version, of course. It sounds really good. Just it's killer. It's killer. And then I Still Love You. Great. Great, but nothing compares to the version on Unplugged. And then a nice surprise for us Kiss fans, I think, anyway, at least for me, is that Rock and Roll All Night. And the show's not over yet. So um, this version here on Alive 3, to me, is the best version ever. It's the best version of this song. I like Bruce's guitar solo in it. He plays the ace stuff, and then he kind of takes a turn, makes it his own as well. It just sounds really, really good. I like the way the way Paul introduces the song itself. It's just it's like I said, it's the best version ever. And still, if I never hear it again, I'm good. Then after that, Lick It Up. Again, I keep saying it, best version ever. Again, Paul sounds amazing on it, and it's such an energetic version. It's so good. It's great. It's great. Then Forever. I like the opening of this one. Every time we do this one, the place lights up just like a damn Christmas tree. I think that's so that's so cool. The vocals are great, and I know I keep coming back to saying great vocals, but it's a fact. And at this point, at this time, I mean, Paul was probably at his peak. So I mean, he was something else, that's for sure. He was just otherworldly when it came to his vocal performances. Then I Love It Loud. I know it's one of Gene's favorite songs. Paul hates it, but that one's in set here, and we get a chance. This is the first time it's recorded, you know, for proper release. So us Kiss fans get a chance to hear that one. It's a good song, good version. Um, you know, then I think my favorite version of Detroit Rock City. It's a classic. It's a staple. I never tire of hearing that song, and I do think that one is my favorite version of all. Uh, that one there on Alive 3. I just and again, Paul does a phenomenal job. Then the set rounds out with God Gave Rock and Roll to You. I love this song. It is such a good song. It This song should have been so much bigger. Actually, it wasn't very big at all. It should have been huge. This song should have been all over rock radio everywhere. But that's the way that's the way radio has been, uh, probably forever will be when it comes to Kiss. They don't give Kiss the time of day, but this song should have been all over the place, and it should have been huge. It's such a good song. Radio doesn't get Kiss. They never have. They never will, and it's too bad. But great song to end the set. And I know that the Alive box set, I know that in the Alive 3 version on that does include Take It Off, and it's a good version of that song as well. But for this exercise, we're just strictly sticking to the original releases on these. So lastly, I do think that Kiss was I think they were on a mission at this time to prove to everyone that they were still the hottest band in the world, and that they were taking no prisoners. That is what I got out of, or I shouldn't say got. That is what I get out of Alive 3. That's my interpretation of it, and that's why it's my number one. So there you have it. That's my list of Kiss live albums. I want to thank you for sticking around. Thank you for putting up with this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you disagree with any part of it, you know what to do. Again, please, if you could, subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, and please, please, please leave a comment. Pumps me up. And if you want to leave your list of Kiss live albums ranked from bottom to top, then I welcome that. I look forward to it. Again, follow me on Instagram, Ben Maynard Program. With that, I will see you next time. This is the Ben Maynard Program, and tell a friend.